Hello everyone, and welcome to Divine Debut 11. This is Kathy speaking, and thank you so much for joining us here today for The Messenger is here on the 4th of March of 2025. I hope you're all doing well. We actually had a long weekend here in Greece and a religious holiday. The weather has been really gloomy. Today we've got some sun, thankfully, finally. Just like the weather, that's how the astrology has been. And we're in March now, so many of you may know that are following us here that March is a very powerful month astrologically speaking, as we've got eclipses, we've got Venus retrograding now, Mercury is preparing to retrograde, Venus retrograding in Aries. There's a lot of shifts that are going on, many cycles that are happening synchronistically. And I'm going to say as above, so below. As we're reading the energies, we know that there has been an alignment of the planets, speaking astronomically. But astrologically, it's the same as well, as so much is going on in Pisces. It's all about going back to the past, right, where matters pertaining to Venus are concerned. So, some of you may be asking questions such as, why hasn't it happened yet? I've been waiting on this outcome. Why has it not shown up again? Still. Astrology is full of cycles, larger cycles, smaller cycles. Remember, Chronos, Saturn is the lord of karma and timing. When he will open the door for us, that's when things can play out. But every planet has its own work to do, and for each of us, because our journeys are we're single people, we are part of the collective, and we've got a collective picture that's shifting relative to the world, but in our own lives as well. So the timing will be different for each of us. Generally speaking, it's all about endings, huge endings, especially now in the month of March, as we're going to see Neptune leave Pisces after so many years, enter Aries, and then in May, Saturn will also enter Aries, which is all about that new beginning. Okay, so the moon is transiting through Taurus. The moon is exalted in Taurus, so we may have a couple of days of pretty good energies, things sort of more flowing. Even my camera, that gives me heartache. Sometimes it just doesn't want to show up for me, and I've got to try again and again. Even that worked out simply and easily today. I wanted to say that on the 28th of February, all of Greece came out to protest relative to that freak train collision where we lost 57. Most of those people were young. They were students. I'm sure many of you have heard about it through the news. I have put a link in the post section, so you can go there. We've got someone who's talking about it. There are subtitles. They speak in Greek, but it's translated into English. So if you're interested in what's going on here in Greece and what this is all about, then go to our post and follow the link. It will give you the understanding of what's going on. Let's see what's energetically going on as the messenger brings us the message, the collective message for all of us around about now, whenever you view this video. Let's see what's going on. What is going on, dear Spirit, as Venus and Mercury, which are personal planets, they will be retrograding in this month. We've got 2 eclipses. If you're not on Patreon, do consider joining us. We do talk about it there on Patreon. We interpret the energies of the stars, the planets, and how they affect us here personally, collectively. So let's see what we need to know today. What is the advice coming from Spirit? Thank you, Spirit, for the guidance. And we've got love, and we've got Gemini and the lovers. So relationships, and I see it as I talk to a lot of people not only love relationships, family, friendships, they're all going through testing times. As at the end of March, we're going to have an eclipse on the axis Aries Libra, and that's the relating to others axis. So if you've been going through a lot of testing times relative to the most important relationships in your life, whether they're romantic or family or business or friendships, then the story hasn't finished yet. You're coming to the end of that. So we're going to have obviously a new moon in Aries, which is going to be a solar eclipse on the 29th of March, and a new moon in Aries. That's a huge new beginning, a solar eclipse. So we've also got the spring equinox around the corner. Looking forward to spring, everyone, in the northern hemisphere. And those of you that are in the southern hemisphere, the autumn equinox, as the sun is going to ingress into Aries. It's a new astrological year that we're looking forward to, so we're sort of closing things up now. It shows in many, many ways, energetically, physically as well. Let's see what the messages are round about now. This is the Gilded Tarot Royale, and I haven't used it for a while. Love this deck. If you're interested in it, that's what it is. It's by Ciro Marchetti. So there are head over heart decisions to be made. We're looking for balance, harmony, and equality, and as you know, in relationships or whoever we're relating to. The Lovers many times is a twin flame connection for me. It's a blessed relationship. It's a relationship that's meant to have gone through much, because if we look at the Lovers, which is a number 6, before that is the Hierophant, which is a number 5. So changes relative to our beliefs, relative to our commitments, relative to our family, relative to contracts and agreements, which is the Hierophant. Right, so the Hierophant does speak to a spiritual connection as well. And of course the Lovers can speak to third-party situations. So let's see what's going on. Remember, Gemini is all about decisions, making a choice, needing to choose, having difficulty in choosing. Gemini is the mind. Okay, so how we communicate with others. And Mercury, which rules Gemini. And of course, because we're having an eclipse on the 14th of March, which is going to be a full moon, and a lunar eclipse in Virgo. Virgo is also ruled by Mercury, and Mercury now is in Aries. So maybe conversations will jumpstart relative to the past. Be careful the way you verbalize what you've been holding back on, because Mercury is in the house of Mars, can be a little bit cutting, a little bit fiery. Okay, so let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on in the now. We've got the Queen of Pentacles, Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus. Okay, the Queen, the most experienced Queen, the most dependable, the most stable, the most loving, the most grounded Queen of the deck. She is the minor arcana of the Empress. The fact also that we've got the peacock, which is a symbol of abundance, a symbol of luck and spirituality, and it is also a symbol of Juno, the wife of Jupiter. And Juno at this point is at those first degrees of Sagittarius. So remember, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter now is in Gemini, moving direct. So Jupiter does want to expand, but Jupiter is in a weak position. Nevertheless, Jupiter does bring justice, does bring expansion and growth. Let's just not overdo it, as Jupiter also rules Pisces. There's so much going on in Pisces right now. and Jupiter is square to Pisces. So the mutable signs will be feeling that surely that they need to make the changes that are necessary. And of course, because of the eclipse, of course, on the 14th, roughly there, of the month of March. So a full moon, a lunar eclipse in on the axis Virgo and Pisces, which is pointing back to September of last year. So maybe think back to what was going on back then. So let's see what else we've got. We know she's a mother usually. She's a business owner. She's good with her money. She's looking at her finances. The Ace of Pentacles that she holds could be a relationship, could be something that's offered. It could be help. This could be someone that's motherly towards you or your mother, or the mother is giving to her children. There's luck, there's abundance, there's positive energies in what I see as we begin here. Wow, everyone. And here is the Tower. There's some sort of an enlightenment, some sort of a major shift. Maybe something that, it could be a relationship, it could be a job, it could be anything that's changing here, because this is Uranus, this is Mars. They're not easy planets, of course. And remember, Mars having been retrograding in Cancer, which is the home, which is our emotional happiness and security. Mars not being happy there, being in a weak position, drowning in his emotions, having retrograded for so long, and having been transiting through Cancer. Look to that area of your chart. Where is Cancer for you and in your chart, in your personal journey? Mars now is direct, and he's going to make a good aspect with Kronos, with Saturn from Pisces. But remember that Mars also being away from home, which is Aries, he's also in a difficult aspect to Aries, where Venus is retrograding and Mercury will also be retrograding. And of course, a difficult aspect means that we get uncomfortable, that themes relative to the past will be coming up, themes relative to the home, to our emotions, to relationships, to the past, to the mother. Have we been nurtured and loved by our relationship, by the people we live with? I mean, remember Mars now, he's passing over the degrees that he retrograded over, and so we're looking for the resolution relative to these last few months. I have been talking about it. The end of 2024, very difficult, as we've had lots of, titanical battles, battle of the Titans, as we've seen, Saturn and Jupiter in that battle. It's like going back to those days when the gods were fighting for who's going to win over the situation. And we also see it collectively, dear friends, with our governments, with, people against the elite, tyrannical situations going on where, Pluto in Aquarius, lots of change relative to the masses, to the people, to the riches of the world, and lots of change relative to all of our lives, personally and collectively. So there's a big shift, and this, of course, to me is also Uranus. Uranus is transiting through Taurus, but Uranus is in a good aspect to Pisces, so that's a bit of a promise. We've got the challenging aspects, but we've also got the positive help. That's how spirit works. Let's see what is changing here. What is this aha moment? What is this enlightenment? Wow, okay. Generally, what I'm getting here is that we see the ship that we've been waiting on the horizon. Three of Wands is a choice has already been made, because remember, the Three of Wands is after the Two, and the Two is the dilemma, the choice. Okay, so we see the Two Wands here. He's turned his back to that because he's passed through that portal. For some of us, the portal, this opening is ahead of us, because eclipses are portals. They are openings. He is nevertheless chasing what he desires. What he desires could be far away, in a faraway land. Remember, 3 of Wands. Wands are our vocation, our desire, our passion. 3s are all about expansion, growth. It's the first point of success, and the Empress is also a 3, remember, which can relate or involve third parties. Of course, we all are collectively intertwined, and energetically we're all in, all in this together. So the ship is on the horizon here, but the work has been done. It's a matter of waiting now for that, because there's a new journey that's opening up, that's ahead of us, for the world, for us personally as well, surely. And there could be something relative to a success here, even if this is any decisions relative to business, okay, and work situations. Let's see. Wow, okay. Well, we've got the 4 of Cups here, which I see many times as missed opportunities. But it is, remember, it's the Holy Grail, it's the Ace of Cups, which is being on offer here from the Hand of Spirit. And the 3 Cups, he's not focusing on, he's actually looking at that opportunity. So remember that with these retrogrades now, and with eclipses obviously eclipse something out of our life to make space for the new. Okay, so this could be second opportunities, revisiting the past, having not been able to accept an opportunity, this Ace of Cups, whatever it means for you, because of the inability to do that. Because 4 of Cups means emotionally, I'm not feeling safe and secure in my environment. And it is connected to family, it is connected to the family we've built, to the place we live in, the country we live in as well. It's interesting, and this is the first time that I actually notice this, that he's actually looking at a book. There's a book wide open in his lap here, which the book to me speaks to Pisces energy. And Pisces is anything that speaks to illusion, deception, not seeing something clearly. Sacrifice. Pisces is also karma. It's the 12th natural house. But it's also information maybe that we did not have that may be coming through now. Because remember, Gemini speaks to communication. It's the natural 3rd house, which speaks to anything written, spoken, communicated, perceived, or even anything relative to journalism and news, okay? And can be talks about, because this could speak to physical travel as well. This could be a metaphorical or a physical trip that is returning. That there's an opportunity for something that's coming back from the past. Now, this person is receiving some information. The book means that the book is open, so that there's something that they're understanding. Maybe that was unclear. Maybe there was misconception, illusion, possibly even deception, and even lessons. Let's see what else comes through. Wow, 9 of Wands. Someone's been put through the ringer. They've had it very hard. We see this person actually, they've carried such a heavy weight. They've been hurt. They've been used, abused, mistreated. You could see that he's on his knees, but he's still trying to hold himself up, which means things have been tough, even where, where our efforts are concerned, or where we have been putting our energy to create what, okay? For each of us, it's a different story. But it's all got to do with this Ace of Pentacles that this Queen of Pentacles holds. So that's what's valuable here. And we're receiving some information, some enlightenment that there's a major change. It could be something shocking, something very revealing. Okay, but the Nine of Wands says that we're at the end of that where, and this could, for many of you, this is, if this is possibly a relationship, the Nine of Wands to me is sort of, I've blocked that person, not communicating. Someone's put up a wall, whether it's a physical or a metaphorical. It's like, I don't have any more energy left. I'm sort of also protecting myself for whatever reason. Remember that Mars is fire, and Mars is in the sign of Cancer, which is water. Now, Mars is doing, over to Cancer, is doing good aspects, right? So hopefully we'll have the revelations that whatever is changing is bringing an end to this heavy burden. This could also be the ending suddenly of a project, of, a literal project where someone's put in a lot of effort, a lot of work, and they're waiting on some sort of an offer, something that will make them emotionally happy and safe and secure. Let's see what the outcome. Wow. The outcome brings us the King of Wands, a very powerful leader. Sagittarius, Leo, Aries. King of Wands, entrepreneur, boss, CEO. It's relative to the fire that is burning within. Remember, the fire of Mars has been put out for some months, as Mars has been, as I said, drowning in the sign of Cancer. Mars is a masculine energy, and we all hold that masculine. We've got masculine and feminine within us. But here we've got a masculine energy, even though when we talk about masculine, fire, and we've also got feminine, which is earth and water, we see here that there's a lot of masculine energy. Even Gemini, being an air sign, speaks to more the yang energy. So this is like revving it up, and we see someone having this King of Wands, whoever this is. It could be another side to you and to your own life. This is a very experienced, very passionate, and very let's do this king, right? And more fire. So remember that Nine of Wands, and here is the 10th wand that this king holds. So there's something that's coming in which is changing the energy here. Remember, Venus in Aries, in a Mars ruled sign, Mercury in Aries. There will be communication, conversations, and perception of what is it that we need to complete. What is it, that's been holding us back. We're sort of moving towards, as we're looking at Mars now, moving forward, looking towards entering Leo, which will be happening, I think, towards, when is it? Let me just check that for you. Okay, so it's on the 18th of April. So Mars is going to re-enter Leo on the 18th of April. But obviously, as he's moving forward, he'll be making connections to other planets. What I see energetically here is that it's all systems go, because there's a very decisive stance in this King of Wands, whether it's you or whether it's someone else that you're dealing with. Let's see what is beneath. And we've got the Devil, you see. Interesting, because the Devil, of course, speaks to Kronos and Saturn. This is karmic. This is limiting. The Devil means fears. It means secret love affairs. It means blockages and limitations, doing things by the law, doing things in a much more mature way. But remember that the Devil, being Capricorn, it's all about climbing that mountain. And we also see a lot of fire here, We see a lot of fire here. Remember, fire speaks to something ending, but also something being created. So something being burnt. We see the devil on fire here. We see so much desire and passion here. And this means great desire, but it also speaks to great karma, addictive behaviors and difficult cycles. Saturn obviously is not in a strong position in Pisces, and Saturn, though Saturn is a difficult planet because Saturn does teach us very difficult lessons, but without Saturn we don't have something to build upon. And we've got Saturn, we've got Uranus here. This is like, the two titans going at it as to who's going to win. So it's a bit of a push and pull, right? The devil can speak to fears, but with the devil here as the general energy, it's like there's great desire. Without this desire and without the building blocks of Saturn, nothing can be built, right? So maybe where the karma is being released, being worked on, and this maybe is what is leaving us here, because notice the pentagram, the pentacle behind the devil, which is what this queen holds. So obviously it's relative to finances, stability and practical matters. Money is a great, a huge message here, because, too much work, Saturn, Capricorn ruled, right? Ruler of Capricorn, I should say. Capricorn is the 10th house, which speaks to our reputation, to our responsibilities, to successes as well, and that mountain goat that is climbing that mountain to the top. Remember, Pisces also speaks to when the mountain goat, when his knees are giving out, just like the 9 of Wands here, it's his faith, his beliefs that keep him going to the top of that mountain. So I would say that, because remember, Saturn is going to change sign, going to leave Pisces, which is a sign of endings in our beliefs, and enter Aries, which is when we press on that accelerator towards that dream, that vision that we have. And I'm going back to the same thing that I said earlier. Some of you may be wondering, why hasn't my dream manifested? Why? Everything seems so positive. The outcome was telling me it's going to happen, and every time I would go closer and closer to that dream, it would move and go more forward, and I was sort of losing touch with it and thinking that I would give up. This is the energy that we need to be in with the King of Wands. We need to desire this. We need to have passion. Without passion, without fire, there is no movement, right? And there's no point in sulking over anything. It's all about taking responsibility, taking the fire and creating something with it. Okay? What's the devil sitting on? The 6 of Wands. The only way is forward. The only way is success. We need to believe that we can be successful. There is, and we've got Leo, which is strong. The only way is up, I'm going to say. And yes, Capricorn is earth, is stability, is not very much about taking risks. But remember, Capricorn and Leo are all about leadership. And so is Aries, where Venus and Mercury are. So it's all about taking leadership for that new beginning. There will be recognition, there will be success. And right now we're going through a crisis, through a judgment, through a moment of crisis where there are dilemmas, there are choices, but there's a possible resurrection and second chances, as I said here with this 4 of Wands. Scorpio comes through and Pluto. And there is the Empress, everyone. And the Empress is all about creation. Here is Venus. This is about the birth, the birthing. This is about abundance. This is about manifestation, abundance, creation, love. Remember, the Empress is right here in the minor arcana. So let's see what the message says. With the wisdom of the oracle. The message today is don't give up. Not giving up. Not giving up on love, not giving up on a partnership, not giving up on recognition and success in business. Not saying I can't do this. Not giving up. We've got flexible. We need to be flexible. Number 19. 19 is also the number of the sun, which is the heart, which is our truth, which is our core identity. Remember the Queen of Pentacles. She knows. She's got strategy. She's got patience. She's got understanding. She's got surrender within her. She's got service within her. Let's see what the message speaks to. Flexible, and we're talking about transmutation, a shift of the energy, changes and shifting, I would say, also from just being in our beliefs and sort of imagining or holding back or just meditating. I think it's talking about action, even though with retrogrades, it's not about moving towards something new and creating something new. It's about returning to the past and taking action on past matters. It's all about second chances. So if you feel as though you've been unsuccessful in something, don't doubt that there can be success. Maybe the timing was off. Let's have a look at that. 19, which also equals a 10. And a 10 equals an ace. Number 19. A tree's roots are solidly planted in the ground, yet its branches can bend in a hurricane, whereas a rigid structure like a building would come crashing down. And we've got it here. Consider how the tree remains supple and secure when everything around it may be in shambles. This is how you need to be now, willing to learn new things, teachable, malleable, yet firmly grounded in who you are. Common sense is important, but so is an open mind. Stay curious, stay open, stay aware. At this time, others will be more flexible with you too. Interesting that the the words common sense comes through, which is all I'm hearing from the US and Donald Trump, talking about common sense, leading the country through common sense. So much is going on, my friends. Wow, we're living in very incredible times right now, and it's very exciting, can be very scary as well. I would say energetically stay in that excitement rather than in that fear, okay? Because that's the general energy here, and it can be fear of not making it, of not succeeding, of not surviving, of not getting out of this loop or out of this karmic situation. Remember, this also speaks to third parties, secret love affairs, if we're talking about love, right? Let's talk about relationships here. In every relationship, it's important to be open to new experiences and learning new things. Letting go of rigidity is what's required right now. You don't always have to be right all the time, do you? It's okay to come to a happy compromise. You can still get your needs met. It's a beautiful day when you meet halfway. The appearance of this card in a reading could also signal that you have met someone new who may not be your type, but who will turn out to be so special that you can easily release your old ideas about what sort of partner is right for you. Be flexible. You'll be happy you made that choice. Now, it's interesting here because we are revving it up. We are chasing what we desire here. And remember, the King of Wands is not someone who fears. This is someone that will take a risk. This is someone that may be a little bit rigid for some of you. Someone that's stuck in their own ways. You know, like someone who would say it's my way or the highway. Maybe this is advice to this king, whoever this is, that they need to be a little bit more flexible. Whatever is not flexible it's going to break now, just like that, you know, that building or whatever you've built that was not flexible, okay? Something is coming down. Something is breaking down. Let's look at the prosperity. Even when you have a clear vision of how you're going to manifest something, what it will look like, who will share in it, and what will then be available to you, you still need to relax and open up to other possibilities. Spirit may have much better plans for you. It could be a job you hadn't thought of, a new source of money, or some other opportunity that eluded your imagination. Be flexible and remind yourself, this or something better manifests for me now. Then be willing to bend a little, enjoy the miraculous results. So through bending is when the miraculous results come through, my friends. Let's have a look at the little bit of Lenormand. I want to get some information on what this outcome is. What is going on with this king? Energetically, it's all about being very powerful, taking responsibility, leadership, not being bewildered, bogged down. It's all about creating something new, creating what we desire, but through being flexible and not fearing. Being the hero. We've got a ring. We've got the dog. And we've got the rider. And we've got the house, which the house obviously could be a relationship, could be a business, could be your personal life, your home life, right? So the ring can speak to commitments, but it can also speak to cycles. What I see here is that we're revisiting a cycle relative to something giving us stability. And our loyalty, remember the dog is loyal. The dog is like the goat that is climbing that mountain. The dog speaks to friendship, understanding, someone's best friend. The dog speaks to friendships, speaks to loyalty, someone who's always been there for you. Or you being loyal to what it was that you wanted to create, let's say. Yes, loyalties come up very strongly here. But as I said, it's like the mountain goat climbing to that top of that peak of the mountain. It's like staying on course because there's a new beginning ahead. And of course, the rider is an ace, and the rider is like the magician to me. It's like the alignment of the stars which bring this brand new beginning. Lots of communication relative to the past, because Mercury, which rules Gemini, and the magician is going to bring a lot of information, a lot of communication, new beginnings, talks of travel, talks of movement, talks of a new cycle opening up. But as I said, after having done the hard work, because you've done the cycles again and again, you've sort of already built that foundation. So maybe this tower moment now is that enlightenment, that what is it that is leaving to make space for what you've already started to build, I believe. Or maybe you thought that everything had finished, right? Something's been broken down, but then all of a sudden there is the revelation of the ship, and what you've worked on, because you've been loyal to this journey, whatever this journey is for you. Okay, so the house does speak to securities, finances, family, marriage, relationship, even, our financial stability, financial and emotional, as we were talking about Mars, that retrograde and is now direct in Cancer. And moving forward. And very soon, Mars is going to be in a positive aspect to Uranus in Taurus, which could be that shocking revelation that things have been happening also possibly behind the scenes that you were not aware of, that there is change, that there's been a transmutation. And because the book is open, now you have the revelations of that. So just the 4 cards here signify to me that there is a commitment, that there is going to be stability. Your not giving up is bringing you a brand new cycle, lots of positive news. Okay, moving forward, there is movement, there is transition, there is travel. And obviously the rider does remind me of the knights, Knight of Wands, Knight of Cups, Knight of Swords, and the Knight of Pentacles. But this is Gemini, so it's talking about the pace quickening because we're moving into the Aries season very soon. Okay, let's see what this house is sitting on. There is the block. There is the completion. The World card, 21, the Mountain. The Mountain is like the 9 of Wands as well, where, and I'll be talking about that, the goat climbing that mountain. These are the blockages, but these are also the profound building blocks of Saturn, because something is closing, right? These could also be the rewards after carrying and holding on to your faith. Something in the past has been cut, has happened suddenly, or could be happening now for you, that what you believed in, you were able to build on, because this speaks to stability, and there it is. There it is. Okay, let's look at our emotions and our psyche. Four and 7 is 11, and 9 is 2021. See, that's the ending, which is the World card. It's a completion point. It's a successful completion point of a major life cycle. For many of us, as Pisces is also that, and but to each of us on our own personal journey. So that accomplishment will come, and a new beginning at a different time. But it's 2025 coming towards mid-year, and big changes as we're leaving the first months soon of 2025, and moving towards more positive energies that we've been talking about. Let's see what's going on. My little candle is just burning a very small flame. That flame needs to grow. Let's see what's going on in the psyche and emotionally. Abandoned. But there's nostalgia. This is like the soulmate, 6 of Cups. Relative to love, relative to the past, to more trusting times in the past. But this is returning. Remember, Venus retrograding will bring past loves back. There will be action and communication and having that bird's eye view, that bigger picture. This could also speak to transition, movement, travel, as birds are travelers. We've got the divine masculine that is going through an awakening. Now, if it's not an actual masculine figure in your life, it could be the yang energy. So the yang energy, which is all about going to act, right? Yeah, and it's relative to a separation, to third parties. And my goodness, there is the positive cycle from Saturn. Do you see? My goodness, there is a rose on that chair. She's holding the rose. So what you've abandoned, or you feel you've been abandoned, is returning, because the rewards come from Saturn. I'm going to say it again. Oh my God, everyone. Remember the Ace of Wands, and I got the goosebumps? Here it is. Here is the offer. We've got earth, we've got fire. After a Tower moment, I don't think I need to say anymore. A divine masculine has gone through their awakening. They're bringing totally dramatic and ever-changing themes or information to you, or they're telling you that their life, they're going to rebuild their life, or that they're hoping to rebuild possibly your partnership, your relationship. Maybe, many times I'm going to say the separation could be time apart, could be a broken heart, could be it wasn't the right time, could be all these things. I would say that these are the Saturnian rewards that are coming in now. You've worked very hard for this. There have been difficult decisions here with the Lovers and third parties, and the energetically taking up space relative to this partnership, because we are talking about a partnership, a relationship. Right? Some of you could also be mother-child, because the nostalgia here does bring up the inner child or your children. Childhood abandonment issues that could be going through healing right now, as we see that there's action being taken through knowledge, right? And Mercury is knowledge, and that's why he's going to retrograde, because he's in Aries now. He's, going to be active, as he's going to return back to Pisces to try and clear the confusion and the illusion. And Mercury in Pisces to me is also talk with spirit, communication and connection through with spirit, that will give us those clear understanding of which way we're heading, which way we've got to go. It can be a lot of talks that will bring understanding about what's really going on. So I love the fact that we also see this little sprout in the earth. Obviously, the seed has been planted in the past, and that's what the Empress is. That I always talk about, right? The Empress. The Empress she's a pregnant woman. She's pregnant with an idea. She's attracting. She's magnifying. She's emanating that beauty, that love, that unconditional love, the unconditional love of a mother, which could come through a divine masculine, of course. And there's the wheel, and the wheel of fortune is bringing in change, expansion, growth, some crisis, but a resurrection, success, and something that you've really worked towards that is going to be very rewarding, my dear friends, on this particular cycle. Okay, so wonderful, wonderful messages. I hope that this resonated for you, or is going to resonate for you in the near future. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting. It really does help the channel. And consider joining us on Patreon, as we do a lot there. What else can I say, my dear friends? Times are very changing. Everything is changing from the root up, and we're all living through this together. So let's come together as a group, as is Aquarius. Let's all understand that we're all in this story together, and that there needs to be togetherness and understanding that we're all feeling the same practically. Okay, we're all going through these major world changes and personal changes. So let's give ourselves a pat on the back for getting it right up to here and making it up to here. And I'm going to leave you again. Follow the link in our post relative to that freak train collision, which we had 57 lives lost, and really, really nasty and really, really unforgiving relative to the way that it was handled by our government here in Greece. So, my friends, I will leave you with that. Thank you so much. Love and light, and dear patrons, the love readings for March are being worked on today, tomorrow. Okay, so thank you so much. Check out the extra videos we've done on Patreon, tier 3. And if you're not on Patreon, the Venus retrograde and the Venus star point that we will have on March 23rd, which I thought that was when Mars was going to enter Leo. That's that Venus star point. Venus and the Sun conjoining in the sign of Aries, which is a fire sign, right? And it's cardinal fire, so it's all about action. We've got a lot that's going on. You can purchase the Venus retrograde video analysis through our website. You can get the link beneath. Either that or join us on tier 3 on Patreon. Love and light. And there's many more goodies on Patreon on tier 3. Do join us. Thank you so much, everyone. I will talk to you tomorrow.